Our topic today is the regrooving of continental commercial vehicle tyres. Just like remoulding, regrooving is an important element in Continental's life cycle strategy for commercial vehicle tyres. Regrooving is the subsequent deepening of the main grooves of commercial vehicle tyres by 2 to 4 millimeters. This is normally carried out when the tyre still has about 6 millimeters depth of tread remaining. The tyre can then be used for an additional 10 to 20,000 kilometers. Only those tyres manufactured with a thicker layer, like a cushion of rubber between base of tread and casing, may be regrooved. Such tyres must be marked regroovable. These are essentially HGV tyres. Car and motorcycle tyres may not be regrooved. We've mentioned the economic advantages. The question is, are there disadvantages to regrooving? The subtread protects the tyre against external damage. If regrooving is now carried out, the subtread is reduced to a minimum, at least in the tread grooves. That makes the tyre more vulnerable to penetrations, sharp stones, and so on. In other words, damage that can reach as far as the casing and hence damage the carcass. That might make later remoulding impossible. Therefore, we must weigh up the risks in each case. Do I wish to have the benefit of more kilometers, but on the other hand, accept the risk that my carcass may not be suitable for remoulding afterwards? It is basically the main tread grooves that are regrooved. For example, the longitudinal groove, or also this transverse groove. We shall now show you regrooving in practice. We don't start cutting immediately, but instead carefully examine the tyre first to see whether it is suitable for regrooving. First of all, we check to see whether regroovable is written on the sidewall. Afterwards, we rotate the tyre to find the point with the lowest depth of tread. As we do so, we remove any stones that may have become caught in the tread. Then we inspect the tyre for signs of damage that may extend as far as the carcass. In other words, the casing, or possible flat spots, or severe chunking, or excessive wear to the shoulders. If we find such damage, the tyre cannot be regrooved. We begin regrooving at the point with the lowest depth of tread. In this way, we avoid cutting through to the casing elsewhere on the tyre. The heated cutter is set to the depth of the remaining tread plus the regrooving depth. In principle, even remoulds can also be regrooved. However, you have to be careful. There are tyres that are remoulded from bead to bead, for example con tyre, and marked regroovable on the sidewalls, and these can be regrooved. But there are also tyres that are simply retreads from shoulder to shoulder, or rather remoulded using the cold process, for example, Conti tread made by Bandag. In such cases, you must follow the regrooving recommendations of the remoulding company. Where do I get information about regrooving? Every manufacturer provides regrooving recommendations containing details of regrooving depth, width, and also which grooves can be treated in this way. The regrooving tool can be heated, and legislation dictates that the cutters must have rounded edges. The regrooved area corresponds to Continental's regrooving recommendations. The whole tyre is regrooved in this way. By way of comparison, here is a new tyre with the HDR tread, and next to it the regrooved HDR. That's how the tread pattern changes over the lifetime of a tyre.